shouldn't be out there anymore. Coach Sean McDermott said after the game, Davis, quote, pulled himself out of the game. He communicated to us that he was done. Wow. Shannon, have you ever seen anything like this?
Never in all my life. Skip, you know I grew up on a farm. So I've seen, my grandfather had hogs, we had chickens. I was in 4-H. I went to a county fair, a goat show, and a cow show. And I've never seen or heard bleep like this before in my life, Skip. Never. Now, I've seen guys quit in training camp, Skip. Guys have been, 12, 13, 14 plus years. You're practicing 3 hours a day. The old way to practice, not now, but the old way.
Yep.
And you don't want to do it like, no. Normally, Skip, when a guy reaches this conclusion, he says, you know what? I don't want to lift this heavy-ass weight anymore. I don't want to eat like I've been eating for the last 10, 15 years. I don't want to condition like what it requires me to go out there and compete at my absolute best. They do this in the off-season. They don't do it in the heat of competition.
For sure.
But if you remember last year, Skip, Misha Tate sat right there. And she said, you know what? It came to me in the middle of the fight that I was done. She said, I hated that it happened that time, but I had to keep fighting or I could have seriously been hurt.
Yep.
Vontae Davis, I commend him, Skip, because we said, you know what, man, that guy's just stealing money. And I know some other guys that have quit. They quit mentally, but they still showed up physically. He was in a place that he says, you know what, I don't want to do it anymore. Now, Buffalo said, I wish you had told me that earlier. Skip, he didn't just come to this realization yesterday. If you remember, Indy cut him, was it last year? So this was here, this was brewing. Now maybe he's like, if you watch the footage of it, the Chargers were scoring touchdowns. There's not a Buffalo defender in sight. So Vontae Davis has said, hell, a lot of you guys retired. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? I'm just man enough to walk away from it. And Skip, when you get to this point in time, when I was talking about this last night, when you reach this point, you know what you do? You walk into the locker room, you throw your uniform in the middle of the clothes, you take a shower, you get dressed, you look around because you realize I'm never coming back in another locker room again. You do some out.
Correct.
I've never, Skip, when I heard it, I like, I'm reading Twitter, it's coming up on the thing, it's coming like Vontae Davis, retires. I'm like, how the hell you retire? How you retire during the game? Skip, I've never, ever heard, and listen, I've shared some stories and I've heard some stories, but this might be one of the strangest stories in my 14 years of playing and being around it for another 15 years that I've ever heard in all my life.
So I'm with you on this. I have zero use for and zero respect for Vontae Davis saying no moss at halftime. If he wanted to do it after the game, if he wanted to do it today, I'm fine with that. Because this was predictable to me if you look at his recent history. I don't think his mind or his body was into what was going on the football field yesterday, and he knew it just like Misha Tate said she knew it. So let's look quickly back at his career. He was the 25th pick in the first round for the Miami Dolphins, and he was basically a bust in Miami.
Yes.
And they traded him to Indy, and he sort of found himself. He's found a second home and a second life in Indianapolis. And in 2014 and 2015, he made the Pro Bowl.
He did.
And he got his money. He got $20 million guaranteed. He has made $54 million for his career. But right on schedule last year, he tears his groin early in the year. He says he needs surgery, which he did. So he had surgery. And Indy said, we are out.
Right.
We are done, and we cut you at the end of the year. And I'm pretty sure he's thinking, am I done yet? Like, is this it? But Buffalo calls and says, hey, we'll give you $2 million more. And on top of the $2 million guaranteed, we'll give you $50,000 a game that you make the 46-man roster. So he's thinking, I don't know, it's pretty easy money, right?
And they gave 1.5 to sign and $2 million fully guaranteed at his base salary.
Okay. All right.
That's $3.5 million.
Okay, so he's saying this is just like easy money, right?
Stealing.
Like stealing money.
Yeah.
But you still have to actually play football.
Right.
So what happened in OTAs? He was not ready to play yet. He was not healthy coming off his surgery. What happened in training camp? He could not play. What happened in the season opener this year, the first game? He was inactive.
Right.
And what happened right on schedule? Buffalo, probably the worst team in the league.
Right.
They have so many injuries at corner and safety.
They had to play him.
They had to play him. And not only did they have to suit him, they had to start him. And what happens right away in that game? You saw it.
Yes.
Mike Williams gets wide open and victimizes this guy, Vontae Davis.
Yes.
The former Pro Bowler is ashamed that he's just getting lit up because He just doesn't want to play anymore.
He doesn't want it.
Okay, so he should have stopped, but he's trying to steal the money.
Yeah.
And guess what? They yank him after the first touchdown pass. It was a 7-0 touchdown pass to Mike Williams. They yank him and they bench him. And he's saying, what do I need this for?
Right.
And I'm sure he's overreacting. And from his post, his Instagram post or whatever, it looked like he was kind of trying to apologize between the lines by saying, he never said I shouldn't have done this, but he basically just telling you,
this is not
I'm shocked.
This is not how I envision my retirement.
No.
Sure. And he's as you mentioned, Skip, he's a shot fighter. But when somebody says, okay, here's $1.5 million, we'll guarantee you $2 million, and every game that you're on the roster, you'll get $50,000 in incentive. Plus, you're a veteran player, so he could have made $5 million this year alone.
Right.
But come on, bro. No, I don't care what
do it this way.
You do
all he had to do is come back out and stand on the sideline for the whole second half. Right?
That's all he had to do.
And it's over.
Right.
Right?
No, and then go in Monday and say, Coach, I ain't got it no more. He said, I appreciate everything. He said, I appreciate you guys giving me an opportunity and believing in me. But, Coach, mentally, I'm not here. Physically, I just can't do it anymore. Yep. And now you have some dignity. Man, how you look at that man? And people ask me, well, what were you saying? I wouldn't have said anything. I might have had to whip him because we get whipped. Buffalo are the best team. I'm like, man, get on up out of here.
Yeah.
Because first of all, you've been pretending all this time. Because I can assure you, there've probably been some of his teammates going to the coach, hey, man, we need to give Vontae a look. Yeah. Man, put Vontae in there. He can't be no worse. No. So now I'm vouching for you. You got my credibility, and then you pull this bull jive.
That's correct.
Man, kick rock. Get out of here.
So several of his veteran teammates were
you should be.
They reamed him out.
Yeah.
They should have, because I can't defend any of this.
No.
But I do get it. Yeah. I do see it. I do feel what he was feeling. He's a former Pro Bowler who was humiliated to even step on the field and get torched by Mike Williams.
Right.
And he says, I can't. He also did not want to associate with the mess that is now the Buffalo Bills, starting Josh Allen at quarterback, who struggled. I think he had like a 14 QBR.
Yeah, and it's not going to get any better. But that's the thing, Skip. Normally, like I said, you've made it the hard part. Think about it. You condition all season. You've had to eat a certain way. You had to do certain things. You go through training camp. Skip, the hard part is over. They don't practice hard anymore in the regular season. Basically, it's a lot of walkthrough. You do a little minimum work, and then you go play the game. So it's not like it's strenuous like it used to be.
Okay, but what did you tell me? You hit this wall at one point where you just said, I can't take the meetings anymore.
Skip, that's what it was. Skip, I still enjoy training. Yeah. I still enjoy eating that way. I still enjoy conditioning. It was just the meetings. And I believe if Mike would have told me, say, well, Shannon, you don't have to do meetings. I believe I would have turned the CBS deal down because I still love to play.
Mike would not have told.
No, he wouldn't have told me that. So I had to tell him I had to go.
Yep.
If I'm gonna go to meetings, I'm gonna go to meetings somewhere I'm gonna be happy.
Well, somewhere Vontae's collecting his last check. Like he's good.
Nah, I'm holding on to it. I would say no. You got to sue me. Go to the Players Association and sue me to get it because you didn't fulfill your obligation. I ain't giving you jack. And as a matter of fact, I'm coming to get some of that signing bonus back.
They might.
You ain't no Mike.
They just might.
How you think you gonna quit on me and then keep my money? I wish I might think you think you're gonna keep my money. I'm going to get it.
I have a feeling he's going to wake up and think, I should have maybe handled that a bit differently.
Yeah. Hey, you know what?
Maybe a bit differently.
If they bench him, just go stand on the sideline. But you know what, Skip? Now that I think about it, going home. Your mind's not there. Your heart's not into it. Don't waste your time, and more importantly, don't waste mine. Because my time is more important than yours. I know your heart's not in it. You've already keep it moving. Okay. So I'm gonna give him credit. It's bull jive the way he did it, Skip, because he could have handled it a better way. But we always tell guys, don't just steal money. Don't just collect the checks. Go on home if your heart's not in it. His heart wasn't in it. He went home. He just handled it in a bull jive manner.
All right, guys, don't quit on me today because we got plenty more to get to.
Hey,
when I going back to Dak Prescott, did he quiet all the haters last night? Stay around for this one, please.
There are more of them.
We'll discuss that with D'Angelo Hall next.